Good evening, everybody. You tune in to 91.7 FM WMSE. It's time for Local Live. I'm back in the saddle. Already messing up my words. My name is Cal. I'm here with Erin. Good evening.
Good evening, Cal. Welcome back.
Thank you.
Good to have you. You missed Local Live at Club Garibaldi's last week.
I know it.
Matt Wild filled in for you.
And shout out to Matt for doing that for us.
Yeah.
Appreciate it.
Great time with Mortgage Friedman. So
such an amazing band. I hope all you listeners out there caught that, or if not, check it out in the archives, because I know I heard many reports that they blew everybody away.
Yeah. I mean, they have no other option.
Yeah.
But they're just that kind of band.
Agreed.
Yeah.
But. And tonight we have another awesome band.
Yes.
Haunter, who I guess I became aware of this band sometime in 2016 when they released their album Worm late that year, and then we had them in for Local Live, but I was sick that night.
Yes.
So this is my makeup date.
Yeah.
And I'm happy to catch them this time, because I've been a big fan of theirs ever since that album, even though they started out years before that they weren't on my radar, but they describe their sound as space rock. I guess it doesn't really sound like old school space rock that I'm like when I think of that term, but if you hear their music, I think you will agree that it's appropriate for their sound.
I would say so. I mean, look, also a little background to this band. They were a former, straight up Stevens Point band, but now they're all based in Milwaukee. And yeah, the space rock thing, I think, I was doing some research. It's a quote from another fellow local musician who used the term space rock. But I personally think they sound a lot like that whole, late 90s, early aughts, sadcore, down-tempo kind of thing with some grungy elements thrown in there.
Yeah.
And they really, really utilize that, whole reverb versus fuzz guitar stuff, and all the things I used to really like in college, like codeine and Built to Spill and Acetone, are all present in their sound. And I really think their latest record, which came out late July, it's called Please Understand. It's kind of like them growing into their sound. So I'm excited to have them play these songs live.
Yeah, me too. One of my favorite local releases of the year for sure. And so if you haven't heard them before, you're going to get a taste of that new material coming right up. But first we have a quick message, so stick around.
WMSE's Local Live is supported by Club Garibaldi. Located at 2501 South Superior Street in Bayview. Open 7 days a week, Club Garibaldi serves burgers, hot wings, and more, and features live music weekly. For more information and Club Garibaldi's live music events, visit clubgaribaldi.com.
We'll be back at Club G the first Tuesday of next month, so get ready for that. Mark that on your calendars. Join us if you can. Meanwhile, we're going to send it out to the Bob and Genie Friedman Live Performance Studio. Here is Haunter.
drink your blood now. What time? What place? What time? Drink your blood. Drink your blood. Drink blood. Drink blood. Drink blood. Drink
WMSE. Local music.
All right, we are in the studio. We've got Haunter sitting in with us. Welcome, gentlemen.
Hey, hello.
Hi.
You guys want to introduce yourselves on the mics quick?
Yeah, y'all getting close to that mic when you're talking.
Lean right in.
My name is Alec. I'm the guitarist.
That's not how he talks in real life.
I'm Pedro, bassist.
I'm Aiden. I'm a guitarist and vocalist.
I'm John. I play drums and do a little bit of vocals here and there.
I'm Eric. I do tambourine.
All right.
And keyboard.
Keyboard. I was gonna say I thought I saw you do more than
Being
just
modest.
tambourine playing, but so we were talking before the break a little bit about sci-fi stuff, and we want to know which one of you or ones of you are preoccupied with extraterrestrials, UFOs, and all that kind of stuff. Where does all that stem from?
I'm a true believer, and I won't back down.
We are Haunter, and we won't back down. Aliens are real. No, I don't know. I think they're real. Eric doesn't.
I think there are probably aliens out in the universe. Just I don't think they're alien visitors to Earth. But that said, when I was a kid, I was obsessed with aliens.
Any
think-
shows or movies in particular fascinated you?
Signs.
Oh, Signs is Signs is great.
X-Files. I remember binging X-Files with an old roommate.
Pedro remembers binging X-Files with an old roommate. If you didn't hear that, you're probably too far away. Everybody get in there. Get in there now. What else? I don't know. That's Aiden, you got anything? Got anything to drop?
Any real life experiences?
Yeah, I do.
I thought I had a sighting, but it's hard to tell. I just saw 2 points of light in the sky, and then they faded into the sky.
Probably aliens.
Yeah,
I would say.
I also saw 2 points of light. They were like very, very far apart. But they were moving perpendicular to each other, right? I don't know. They were both moving at the same speed, but they were like very far apart and moving like very, very fast. So like if it was a plane, it would have been way higher, and you would have like heard it or something. I couldn't explain it. It was really weird.
When I was a kid, I had a dream that I got abducted by aliens, and then in the morning, at the bottom of my driveway, there was a cow skull. And we lived in the middle of nowhere. It was pretty weird.
That's pretty weird. They got the cow, dude.
Yeah, They got the cow, but not me.
Wow. Lucky you.
That's intense.
I think they're like such a, I don't know. Aliens are such like a big part of our culture that I feel like, I don't know, something happened at some point, or there wouldn't be so many people out there who believe in it. I guess people are really stupid, but
people believe in Bigfoot.
People believe in lots of stuff, but personally, I veered more towards something's going on.
So, can you tell us a little bit about the story that kind of encompases the album?
I think
That's
Aiden can.
A little bit related, at least some of the songs.
Yeah, well, I just had the idea that like alien would come here, so it travels here, it leaves everything behind on its planet. Like when we think of aliens, we always think about them invading our planet, not necessarily what they left behind. So I kind of picture this alien as like having to sacrifice their whole life at home to come and try to find some solace on another planet.
Mm-hmm.
And they came here, got here, and the other person that's the primary character on the album found them and tries to protect them for a while because they know that humans will be rude about it. And
they're going to be rude for sure.
And then eventually comes to the point where they can't, the human being can't sustain protecting the alien anymore, and they have to tell him to go away. You know?
That's really sad.
That is tragic.
Yeah.
Are there are some songs that don't quite fit in with that
Right.
with that theme. Do you guys want to talk about those at all?
It's kind of just like 3/4 of the way through making a concept album, I realized like I can't do this anymore. Like it's really hard to make a whole album that's a concept album. And a couple of the songs were like originally from before I had the idea. Like Dead Alex was just one that I wrote for our friend Alex who passed away, and stuff like that's on there also. Girls Night Out. I don't know how it relates.
That's just a cool song.
Just a cool song, yeah.
It's about drinking blood.
Yeah.
Stylistically, it all fits together really nicely, though.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Yeah. I know a lot of articles have been written about you guys, and it seems like everything I've read, there's a different genre that they put
Yes.
you in.
Yeah.
What do you think is the weirdest umbrella you've been put under by some writer?
Alec?
I remember some guy called us, Hero Folk. I don't know what that means.
Huh.
Harrowing folk. Well,
Hero Folk.
Yeah. Well, we've gone through like so many different like changes stylistically that also makes it, I think, a little confusing.
Mm-hmm.
We had a guy who was like clearly insane, wrote some really weird article about us talking about how we're like a ramshackle outfit and our instruments aren't in tune, but he really liked the music. I was like, okay, he was pretty weird. That was a weird
Yeah,
dude.
he's like, the songs are good, but they don't know what they're doing.
Which is true,
Yeah.
but you don't need to write an article about it, jerk. I don't know. People throw all kinds of stuff out there, like, and I guess it's all accurate for the most part, like slowcore, space rock, shoegaze. I don't feel like we're that shoegazy anymore. Like maybe I don't know. Maybe we are, but
I think that like shoegaze elements kind of resurface in our music now more than maybe on Worm, because we're using more like just kind of generally overdriven guitars. So there are sections that are just kind of like droney or like wall and noisy, you know.
Yeah.
And
I think the song Open Space is like a very shoegazy song, but we're not playing that one today, so sorry. Yeah.
So yeah, for me, when I was listening to the songs, it seems like there's a super 90s vibe. I don't know if you guys have heard of like Acetone,
Oh yeah.
Codeine, all that stuff.
Oh yeah.
You know, I was thinking like if you could go back in time 20 years when these bands were like in their heyday and release a split 7-inch with a band, one of these bands that would reunite possibly, who would you really think would be like the peanut butter to your jelly?
I mean, we really like Duster, so that's like kind of an obvious answer. They're here on Sunday. That's gonna be cool.
Yeah.
We're excited to see them. But I don't know. I think Codeine would be really awesome. I have like all of their reissues from Numero Group, like their vinyl records, and there's this big booklet in there talking about Codeine, and somebody was talking about how like you never want to play after Codeine because like nothing else sounds like them, and it's like I don't know. I feel like the pure slowcore sound like probably came from them for the most part, and you know I think we capture some of that ethos to some extent, but not like we're not slowcore purists or anything. I don't know. Not all of our songs are that slow. But
I mean, some people find that genre like maddeningly like dull.
It can,
and
totally.
some people just find it amazing. Like they can't get enough of it.
Mm-hmm.
So what about that kind of music really draws you in?
I don't know. I feel like it's basically just rock music slowed down, right? So I feel like it was probably just a response to like super flashy rock and roll bands of like maybe the late 80s and early 90s in that period, like power rock and stuff. And then these guys are just like, well, we're not really into that. We're just going to kind of like slow it way down and have super minimal arrangements, and it's not going to be like flashy at all. And you just kind of like get lost in it. And it's like a really, I don't know, it's like such a simple idea, but the product is like, sounds really cool. So
I think that for me, I like slowcore because I don't really like rock music, and
yeah,
like
exactly.
it's very much more similar to like ambient and electronic music than rock music, because there's not so much like, there's not a performative aspect. It's more so just like creating a like texture or something like that. And I think a lot of that music is like that. And I just find most like rock like pretty unbearable. Like I can't get into it at all. And even when I was a kid, like I remember like listening to these albums like by the Vines and stuff, and then like find the slow songs on those albums and listening to those ones.
Yeah.
Because whatever.
Yeah, I think it's also just about like repetition and just like finding an idea that sounds good and then just like repeating it over and over again, and not like killing that vibe with another idea. It's just like, okay, we're just going to stick with this one idea because that's the vibe that we want. And I think that's something that we do a lot. So
yeah, not the standard verse, chorus, verse.
yeah, I mean, there's still like pop songs, but I don't know, there is a lot of repetition in our music. So
well, I think we should probably get you guys back out there for a second set.
Okay.
But before we do, tell people where they can find the album.
Haunter.bandcamp.com. We got the domain. HAUNTER.bandcamp.com.
Is that just a digital release then?
That's digital. You can also get our tape there. You can like order it, or if you live in Milwaukee, just like message us and we'll get you a tape. You don't have to pay shipping. But
that Haunter courier service.
Yeah, I'll ride my bike over there and get it to you.
Do you guys have any shows coming up that you want to tell people about?
I think we just have like one.
The 28th.
Yeah, September 28th. We're playing with Cloudlight and So Zuppy, and that's going to be at a house venue on the east side that I don't remember the name of. So that's our only show. We were just talking out there about
we have
how
some in October.
We have options, but nothing's set in stone yet.
Okay.
So stay tuned on our Facebook page, facebook.com/,
one is going to be on my birthday.
I don't know, Haunter.
It's the one with the jack-o'-lantern for the profile.
Yeah, just search for Haunter and look for a jack-o'-lantern. That's the general rule of thumb for trying to find us online. So,
cool.
Alrighty. Well, let's get you guys back out there for your second set, and we will throw it back out there in just a couple of minutes. Just a couple messages for you. Stick with us.
Go to WMSE.org.
Always a good time when the Boogie Bang does a remote broadcast. Be sure to tune in for that one. But without further ado, we're going to send it right out to the Bob and Genie Friedman live performance studio one more time for another set from Haunter.
Bleeds just like
got one more.
Circle. Thank you for tuning in to tonight's edition of Local Live on WMSE. Local Live is a production of WMSE Radio, recorded and broadcast live from the Bob and Genie Friedman Live Performance Studio on the downtown campus of the Milwaukee School of Engineering. Local Live is produced by Erin Wolf and Cal Roach and engineered by Billy Cicerelli. All video by Moleskin Productions. Hospitality for Local Live artists is provided by Cedar Teeth Pizza, who can be found online at cedarteeth.com, Anodyne Coffee Roasting Company at anodynecoffee.com, and by Sprecher Brewing Company at spreckerbrewery.com. For Local Live videos, follow us at WMSE Milwaukee on YouTube. For upcoming guests and archives of past Local Live performances, visit WMSE.org. And tune in again next Tuesday at 6 p.m. for another edition of Local Live.